Enjoy the show, folks. Welcome to Gamers Health. I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. With me, as every Saturday night, is my lovely wife, Rachel.
How you doing?
And at some point, I'm sure joining us will be our orange cat, Sadie. She is in. Oh, Rach, she's going for your. She's going for your die.
No, no. Maybe I can get it up with my feet.
So Rachel's stress die, her D20, her squishy glow in the dark one. The cat just knocked it, and she's obsessed with it now. She's like,
I don't
"Where's?"
know where I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it First, I was about to say,
I'll put it in my bra.
"Oh, wow, it's dirty down there."
All right, so you should rinse that off. Rinse the dye off. Yeah.
It's really dusty down there.
Yes. The Elk of Antioch. Welcome, Elk. So we're going to dive into some ideas about being heart healthy. We are not medical professionals. We're not giving medical advice. We're going to be talking about things that have worked for us. But Tammy, we don't know. Right now, we got a 14 showing. I don't know what she rolled, but damn it, this die was on top of Rachel's phone on the cat tree next to us, and the cat was like,
She's like, "Yeah, that's mine."
I thought she was gonna dial a number at that point.
Yeah, it looked like it would do something.
So totally as an aside, with this new cat tree, which I think you can see the corner of right here, our cat has become lovey-dovey, like the
she was lovey-dovey.
like the George Thorogood song. She is lovey-dovey. She is lovey-dovey now. She is obsessed with me wherever I go.
I'm tempted to put it back for her. I feel, but then again, I really like that.
No, you don't want it because she might chew it.
Yeah, that's true.
She's got long nails. You don't want your dog getting damaged.
Right.
Damaged dye. No, thank you.
You're absolutely right.
So, but she's really enjoying it, and of course it's changed our setup a little bit. I am now in my regular desk chair. Rach is in one of the folding chairs. I slide the camera from where its normal position would be, which would leave me off. And
it would be like, I'm the center of the show.
You are the center of the show, Rach. So we just move the camera as opposed to moving the desktop, and it works.
Yeah.
Give medical advice. Cut loose. Cinnamon and zinc poultices for everyone. Wait, man! You're forgetting that silver stuff. What do you call it? That's it's that silver that you for your toothache. There's a silver.
Oh, the colloidal silver. You're not supposed to use it internally.
No, I know. Magnetic bracelets for your heart palpitations. Listen, if I want a magnetic bracelet, I'll make it from magnetic balls, which, by the way, are now banned in New York State because the youngins eat this and then they get stuck.
Somebody gave it to a child too young.
Yes, and it's like, hey, what's sticking to your intestines from the opposite sides? So,
wow.
However, this is okay. I'm gonna have to use two hands because this is okay because they don't have much.
They're weaker in strength.
Yeah, they don't have much grip. Yeah. So that one apparently you can swallow and not worry about it. It's okay. Give it to the kids. The choking hazard's the large, but don't worry about that. The kids will be fine. So we're going to cover a couple of things that I guess are tangential to it, but the reason why heart stuff is on the I've got a heart monitor. This is a yearly thing. It's not like, oh my God. No, it's a yearly thing that my doctor does. And I think you were the first one. You had the one with all the leads.
Yeah, that you had a clip on. They were clipped onto the electrode. And yeah, that sucked because like you had to have like the phone in your pocket and you had to sleep in things that had pockets. because it watches your heart overnight.
It's
It's basically looking for arrhythmias. Like when your heart doesn't keep the same time.
Listen, Elk. Maybe they don't care about the kids up in Alberta, Canada. Listen. Wait. You're the country that sanctions medical suicide.
Oh shit!
So I mean, like, that's just so kids can practice. They just need to get themselves, on the right path to the wrong place.
Wow.
Whoa, I went dark, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All right, so before we start delving into the heart health, we actually ate very heart healthy for our dinner tonight. And using our Gardein, I know people want updates to it. We finally harvested
our Swiss chard. Beautiful. It's like a leafy vegetable with like a bright red stem and very dark green leaves. And so, I had never dealt with any Swiss chard before. So I just, his mom loves it and she grows it in the garden, but I've never really had it before.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that she cooks with it much. But yeah, so we, decided to, take a shot in the dark and, see what it would be like to eat it. And so, I started doing a little research about how you eat it. So I guess it's not tender enough, or like it's too.
Unless you pick it really young.
Yeah, it has to be baby Swiss chard to have it in a salad, like, and eat it raw. And so then I looked at, different recipes of how to make it. And so I just thought to keep it simple. So I sauteed it with, I cut the stems first, like, the big red stem that goes. And I cut that into like maybe a little bit less than an inch pieces. And then I cut the leaves up. And so I started to cook the stems in a little olive oil earlier. And then we put like the garlic, the rest of the leaves, some lemon juice. After we made sure that we got the stems softer. Because that's the issue around the stems. Like, it can be hard. So you don't want to start them at the same time. Because
but with Rachel cutting them as small as she did, it really wasn't an issue. Because I wound up putting some of the leafy parts of the Swiss chard in 2 minutes after we started the. I started putting it in, and Rachel goes, "We wait 5 minutes." I went. I didn't tell her, but like, I guess 2 minutes. I think I won't put the other handful in.
I don't think I realized.
Yeah,
and then once I got to it, I was like, all right.
But here's the thing
too.
Swiss chard is a lot like spinach, fresh spinach, right? Like when you get frozen spinach, what you cook is what you got.
But you know what? It cooks down.
It cooks down.
However, there wasn't like a ton of water in the pan.
No.
So like that was kind of interesting to me, because usually like mushrooms or like other kind of vegetables, when you cook it, it brings water. The water comes out and it stays in the pan.
That being said, when the Swiss chard hit the hot oil, what happened?
It was
like the 4th of July. I swear to God, I was like, holy shit! I'm like dodging.
Oil. I kept feeling boom, 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 the little droplets.
The droplet, and it's like, ow!
What the hell?
What the? I got burned. But it was great to be like, listen, we harvest usually like a strawberry or two, almost on a daily basis now.
Yeah.
And when I say like a strawberry or two, I mean we are waiting for. This isn't like your supermarket fresh strawberries. No, we are waiting to the point where they are extremely almost like a blood red. They are so damn sweet. So Elk, yeah, the medical suicide is as bad as people think it is, to avoid oversharing. But I was offered do not intervene order personally in rather disgusting circumstances by a home care nurse.
God.
You see, that's something that should be last choice, not first choice. First choice should not be how can we prune society.
Yeah, that is it. Just
You know, and
my
I'm
heart
yeah,
hurts. You know,
yeah. I mean, and we have
especially with folks that have like mental health issues. You know,
yeah,
because like that's the symptom of their mental health. You know, and you're
yeah.
like, all right, well, I'll see you later.
If this is too hard for you, press one.
Yes, wild.
I mean, again, that should be the last resort.
Yeah, I can't
You should
imagine.
be figuring how to improve people's lives, not terminate them. I
Yeah.
guess you know. I'm not trying to get into a morbid topic, but
Yeah, we
you
probably
know,
shouldn't
well, we're not going to be
stay
monetized.
stuck.
We're not going to be monetized anyway. But if you do want to help this channel and you're watching this and you don't have every single thing for DCC or MCC RPG, there's an affiliate link on the bottom of the screen. Tankcarstairs
Uh-huh.
Tavern.games/DCC. So that's how we don't do paid advertising, and we barely get paid from YouTube advertising. And most of my live streams, doesn't matter who I'm with, whether I'm with Rachel, whether I'm with Joe in a random party, Glenn, Mike, YouTube goes, "Oh my God, you touched on a subject that we can't talk about."
Oh, really? For them too? I just thought it was with Gamers Health.
No, no, it's all
Oh.
yeah. But she offered me a form to attach to the fridge that ambulance drivers could look for.
Oh.
Hey, Mr. Gunn, welcome. He says hi to you, Rach. Hi,
Hello.
everybody, wave to Mr. Gunn. So, in addition to the fresh chard off of our Gardein, we also made tilapia. Now, we were going to initially make tilapia yesterday. It's Friday. It's Lent. We are practicing Catholics, meaning
Or
I've never.
somewhat practicing.
No. Right. The joke is we're practicing Catholics, which means we never get it right.
Oh,
You
okay.
gotta keep that. You gotta refine that joke, Rach. You gotta refine it. You can't beat the punchline. You beat the punchline, then you just ruin the joke. But
I was like, you might be overstating things.
that's why you had to wait for the clarifier. That's where the laughs are. The ha ha. This one just went. It didn't even go hee hee because the joke went flat because Rach.
Because you ruined it, Rach.
You ruined it, Rach. Yeah, gosh darn it. But we had tilapia. We had it in the freezer probably since last Lent. I mean, honestly, the fish we had at TotalCon at the hotel restaurant, the haddock was amazing. Oh my God, the fried haddock was spot on. Uh, Tabletop Tom also had it the next day on Saturday. He can attest to it. I was thrilled. But usually, I mean, when you think of fish in most families, you think of fish sticks because they're easy to make and they taste like shit. But no, we actually we used our tabletop oven slash air fryer to air fry the fish. We used a lemon based seasoning, which was delicious.
Yeah, it was sort of like a lemon pepper with a little garlic. And
Oh,
then we had like these.
oh yeah.
We have the from the Lidl that would like we were talking about last week. That store, the German store. They have these little like tablespoonful of. Is it that much?
It's
I
probably
think
a
it's teaspoons.
teaspoon.
So they have these little sections in a plastic punch out thing that has garlic, like minced garlic in it. And hi. So yeah, it's got the minced garlic, and so you just keep it in your freezer, and when you want fresh garlic, you have that. So like yeah, we put that all over the fish, and we put that in with the Swiss chard. We have that too in ginger and in basil.
Basil and ginger.
Mhm.
It is awesome. A great way to do it.
Yeah, we had
Um,
these squeezy tubes that came from the Stop and Shop
couldn't
a while ago, but we just haven't been able to find it under the rubble in the refrigerator.
blame me. By the way,
We
folks,
both contribute to the rubble in there.
I'll get to the later comments, but right now the cat is pretty much lying in or laying in position. Oh no, there she's like, you're talking about me. I gotta go.
You gonna go?
You're gonna go. All right, I can put the
There she
keyboard back.
goes. There goes the tail.
And I get access to my mouse again. She was very possessive of the mouse. Like it's a mouse. It's my mouse.
You up high? Yeah.
So we were thinking we started defrosting it late, or much too late yesterday, because it was in the freezer, and you don't really want to defrost things at room temperature if you can help it. You like to defrost things overnight in the fridge. But we thought we were going to have our niece over for dinner, so we didn't think that she'd want to have anything to do with fish, especially fish that we were making. I mean, just saying. So instead, we opted for not carb healthy pizza, but damn, isn't it good pizza?
Mm-hmm.
The right amount of herbs and spices.
Yeah, I love their amount of oregano.
So yes, air fried fish are delish, but bad for your health. I was threatened with death if I ever stunk up the house that way again. It didn't.
This didn't stink up the house.
Didn't stink up the house.
By God's grace, no.
I mean,
salmon has a more intense odor to it.
Yeah, this you actually just smelled the seasonings as it was cooking, and that was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like when my mother used to get from the butcher, back when supermarkets you had a butcher's, she used to get chicken hearts for the cats, and she would boil them, and it was the most vile smell. I swear to God, I would come in, walk in the door as a kid, smell it, drop my books, and run out. I wouldn't scream because that would require you to breathe in. You just, I'm gone. And it was like, oh my God, the cats loved it. It was fresh cat food, Rach.
Yeah, my mom was like that. She didn't want to cook fish in the house. Anything that had a heavy odor to it, she was like, nope, not here.
Tilapia doesn't have much of an odor to it. Of course, when it comes to tilapia, you got to kind of see where it was raised. Most of it is going to be farm raised. You don't want China because they will be garbage eaters. They will eat the poop
of other animals
and go, this is awesome. And I thrive on poop. And some people do. I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying literally. I'm just saying. But these fish literally thrive on poop, and they don't raise them that way in Canada, the U.S., the U.K., but China.
They're really vegetarian.
Yeah. So you're saying poop is vegetarian?
No, I'm just saying these fish are vegetarians, but
yes,
if the people who are farming them are cheap shits,
literally, then you're gonna be eating shit. Yes, Mr. Gunn, I remember Gordon's fish, the Gordon Fisherman.
Yeah. And the Arthur Treacher.
You know what smells worse than fish in the air fryer? Rubber chicken. Mm-hmm. Oh, so if you put rubber chicken in the air fryer, it will.
Yeah, it's gonna stink.
You see, that's not even a dad joke. Mm-hmm. You don't even reach the high esteem of a dad joke on that one. Okay, you just laid it big, sir. That's all I can say. Fish that eat poop, that describes catfish. Yes, it does. Yeah. And catfish, two things about catfish, they are actually good eating. However,
you've eaten catfish?
I've had catfish.
I've never had it.
I've had catfish.
They're freshwater.
They are freshwater. They are bottom feeders.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing with catfish and why I will never. It's one of the reasons why I don't fish anymore. I don't fish in my adult life, because we would catch a lot of what would be, crappie, sunfish, perch, which you got to catch a lot of these things to be
How
able
big
to.
is a perch?
Perch could be any, but yeah, probably about yay big, but then they're thin and long.
Oh,
They're not flat. They're
what
thin and
does it
long.
taste like?
It's a nice light flavored fish, but you need a lot of them.
Hmm.
So my mother would eat because they're small. You're not getting a
Oh,
lot of
and
meat
many
on them.
bones, yeah.
Many bones, but you bone them and then you fry them. You lightly breaded.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with catfish is multi. First off, you take a fish out of water. What happens to a fish out of water?
It
Flops, and then what happens? Fish
makes a
out of
mess.
it, they die.
Yeah.
They don't last very long.
Oh.
You can leave a catfish out of water for like an hour.
Oh.
It won't. You're like, holy shit. And unlike fish, when you cut the you got to cut the head off, and then you gut them and scale them. Catfish, you are supposed to cut around the neck, but don't separate the neck, so you can then pull the skin off with pliers while holding the head in place. So the thing's alive when you're doing it. And that was it for me.
Yeah, I think
That was it.
No,
Can't do it, man. It ain't worth it. Bill, I think he got in trouble for frying fish in the house. I think that's why air fried fish was bad. I don't think it was necessarily the fish, but the odorousness of the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been inclined to swap my food for poop either, Elk. Mr. Gunn, I love catfish. They are great. It's a southern thing.
Yes, Luke Bryan sings about it.
Yeah.
The catfish on the line and the.
They give a good fight. Even a small catfish gives a good fight.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. But I'm sorry, I just can't. You know, it's maybe because I'm a city boy, but it's bad enough that I gotta I chopped the head off the fish and I got it, and then I gotta scale it, and the scales are horrible. Scales go all over you. You're over your arm. It's like you yourself are now scaled. But with the catfish, you got to skin the damn thing alive. I can't, man. I can't.
Yeah, I think it's probably better for us to just get it from the market.
Yeah, there you go.
The fishmonger.
Mr. Gunn, I blame my writing staff for that last joke fail. Well, that means you're blaming yourself, because I understand that you are a staff of one. Yes. So, talk about going off in crazy directions. So, Rach, are we going to talk about the heart? You want to?
Do we want to talk about the heart failure?
The heart failure. Listen, if you've been following this channel, you know one of the reasons why we do this channel, why it's such an important thing in my life and in Rachel's life, is 4 years ago. 4 years ago at TotalCon, I came down with, I guess you could say, Concrud. But the day before, I might have had a heart attack.
The day before you went to the con.
The day before I went to the con.
On that Friday.
On that Wednesday.
On that Wednesday, you had like the profuse sweating. And
profuse? I mean, I got to my local pub. I could have wrung my shirt out. I mean, it was, and we were in March.
Yeah.
And I had already done physical therapy. And I couldn't even finish my lunch. I think I had half a beer, and I went home, changed my clothes, and I went to sleep, and I napped, and then I felt fine. At the con, was it Saturday or Sunday?
It was Saturday. Like you were not sounding well. So here's some of the symptoms of the congestive heart failure. So why don't we explain backtrack a little bit? So congestive heart failure is basically an issue where your heart has trouble keeping up with the demand of pumping the blood where it needs to go
right
through the body. So when you have, and there could be a lot of different types. Like, I think because you were talking about like your left ventricle before, like
Right. Well,
when
that's how they determine what your how your function is.
okay,
Your left
yeah,
your
because you
left
were saying
your
something
left
about
chamber, your left
your
chamber.
yes, because it can affect any of the
So
chambers of the heart, but it just
it's
basically means that your heart can't keep up with
right.
pumping the blood to where it needs to go in the body. So like there's a backup, and so what happens symptoms is that you fluid starts to back up, and so you often get very swollen. Um, for him, like the first signs of fluid starting to back up was that he had fluid in his lungs.
Yep.
So I guess that's kind of like the first
I
place where it
couldn't.
goes, and then it
I
just goes throughout the body as
right.
it
So
worsens.
I was lying in bed, and I felt like I was choking. Like I could not lie in
Yeah,
bed.
like you heard, you could hear rattling,
So then
like upon his like when he'd ask him to inhale deeply, or and even to exhale. So
and then we went to a doc in the box.
yeah, and they're like,
urgent
oh,
care.
just a cold, go get some bumblebee medicine.
Yes.
And we're
It
like,
was great. I was like, oh, really? That's all it is? But then I was having trouble moving. I would walk in the parking lot, and I could
and
only
he would
walk
be out of
about
breath because
20
his
feet.
lung capacity was lower because of the fluid backup.
Right. So there was a lot of stuff going on. So I went back. It went undiagnosed, and then all of a sudden, it turned into whatever I had going on with me, and there probably was a cold, turned into pneumonia, and that's probably what set off the congestive heart failure.
And that made that made all the fluid be going even more backed up and going into like every other part of your body. So his legs were like this.
Well, no, not at that point.
Not at that point, but
not
later on, point. Like it.
But that my first hospitalization, they missed it to now. Remember, it was missed in an urgent care. Finally, after I was back for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and it wasn't clearing up, I went to my doc. Yes. This is right before COVID hit. Right away, he said, "Listen, you got to go to the hospital. Not urgent care. You got to go to the hospital." So take me to Elmhurst Hospital. They kept me for like 3.5 days, and the doctor noticed my feet were swelling a little bit, but he was like, "Do your feet normally swell?" I go, "No, not normally." Yeah, he goes, "It's because of the pneumonia." So it can be missed. I didn't realize,
because maybe he thought that mimicked that because you had sepsis also.
I had sepsis, yeah,
in there. Yeah.
So I came home from that, and I felt better initially, and then it started getting worse and worse, and it travels the waterlogging in my case started with my feet, and then it went to my legs, and then it went to my upper legs, and then it went to my trunk. And I'm not going to go into details, but once it hits your trunk, you feel like your life is ending.
Yeah.
It is a horrible, horrible, depressive feeling.
Right. You couldn't walk from one end of the house to the next without, rage or...
going downstairs for dinner, I considered it a victory if I got up the stairs one stair at a time in 15 minutes. I was like, yes. But this was all during COVID, which meant that the idea of going to a hospital could result in you were like, whatever I'm dealing with, or death. Well, I'm not going to deal. You dealt with what you could deal with as best you could, and it wasn't getting any better. So my family got me an appointment at a cardiologist, and my first appointment I had to cancel because I was not up to getting out of the house. My second appointment, which was I think 2 days after,
it was a Thursday, yeah.
I got out of the house, got into the car. It was a miserable experience. Just moving, sitting, all this crap was miserable. And I get to the cardiologist. The first thing he does is a sonogram, and for the sonogram, he says take him to the hospital, and he said which hospital date you take.
Yes, and that he was going to call the hospital so that he would know that they would know that we were on the way, and they'd be ready to receive him. And
yes. So
Yeah, and the help to give. Yeah.
so now I did a lot of learning. Well, when I was in the hospital, I did a lot of learning because I had my iPad with me and my phone, and you do a lot of research. And I went into the hospital weighing just under 300 pounds, about 292, 293. I left weighing 230. Yeah,
It was
230.
60 pounds of water weight.
Yep. Now, my uh, my heart function, which again is judged from your left chamber, is what moves is what they measure your
You
heart
mean the
function,
injection fraction?
injection fraction.
Okay.
That's basically your heart function because that's the number that they're gonna look at. 50 or greater is considered the normal range. Above 70 could be dangerous because your heart could be overstimulated.
Yes.
41 to 49 is like a mildly reduced heart function. Um, below below 40, 20 to 40 is reduced, and below 20 is significantly reduced, where you can't do things. So that was the point that I was at, right? I was at 15% when I got hospitalized. When I left the hospital, I was at 35%. We are now 4 years later. I have done a lot of things to improve my health and my habits. I am now as of yesterday, I am at 46%. So I am still, I am certainly not at the point where you can say you're out of the woods, and you're never out of the woods, but you have this. But
Right. It's not a curable disease, but it's one of those
it's
chronic conditions.
you
But
can
it's something that you can learn how to live with and maximize your
right,
functioning.
right, and you can get it to the point where you can essentially put it into remission. But even if it's in remission, it doesn't mean that it cannot. The threat's always there. What can set it off? Well, again, I think now, in retrospect, I may have had a heart attack that Wednesday.
Right, and that's one
But
of the precipitants to it.
right,
There's many different things that can cause it.
but my heart failure specialist was like, actually, he thought that the pneumonia and the sepsis brought it on. He
Right, that the
wasn't
viral thing
the
was.
the viral thing brought it on, and in my case, that he was thankful that it did because I'd already had damage to my heart. My heart had significant tissue that was damaged due to
The radiation.
radiation and chemo for Hodgkin's, because one of the chemos could damage the heart. So,
Oh yeah, because your tumors were on your left
my
side.
tumors were actually no, I had just by the lungs.
Yeah.
I had a tumor on my left side and my right side, and I also had one here in my neck.
Yes, so that one would have been the one that
was the one that probably caused
expose you to that.
Exposed the heart to damage and blocked my left carotid.
And it wasn't like it wasn't like me where you could lay on a table and have the cancerous tissue be farther away from where your heart is at. Because you weren't prone during radiation. You were like you were kind of like in that
I was on
reclined position, like a supine.
Mostly reclined.
Yeah.
It was almost flat back. Tammy, could Rachel even be with you? No. My first hospitalization, when they put me in, when I had this pneumonia and sepsis, and they thought I was going to be COVID.
They put him in the isolation room,
and I'm watching race through a fucking
glass window. I went in there because I was like, listen, my husband's been in there for a while now, and I haven't heard anything. I'll just go in and check real quick and have a panic attack. They're like, yeah, go ahead. So they get I walk in and the doctor comes, and I'm like, oh, and it was even worse. I was like, holy shit. He's in the isolation room. I used to work here. I know what that means.
Yeah, that was not fun at all. By the way, worst hospital stay you could ever hope for is Palmhurst Hospital. And listen, it could be. They apologized when I was getting dismissed, and I did have to tell them I didn't blame the staff. It was understaffing, and they were gearing up for hell to hit, and hell did hit.
Hell did hit, like, because like when we were there in the ER waiting for you to be called, like there were so many people checking in with all these like respiratory issues,
Yeah.
and they just knew they had COVID,
Yeah.
but probably not. And then this one,
Yeah,
he went in the isolation room.
When I was there, they still didn't have a positive case.
Yeah.
So, yes, talk about going out of warranty. You're right, Mr. Gunn. Sepsis, congestive heart failure, pneumonia, and congestive heart failure was missed. All right, the heart failure part was missed. It was missed by urgent care. It was missed by Elmhurst Hospital. It was not missed by the cardiologist, thank God.
Yeah, when we got onto a specialty, that's where that was the game changer.
And
he's like, he's very sick. He has to go right now. I was like, okay.
Yeah. And St. Francis was amazing. I got to the point where I was like, I was calling it my vacation because the staff was that great. The food was, holy crap. I lost weight eating good food. How does that happen?
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to catch up here. Gastron technique for plantar fasciitis. I thought I was going to be a cripple until I had a chiropractor did this.
Oh.
Yeah, my plantar fasciitis last year was, oh my God, horrible.
Yeah, I have it from time to time. Like it acts up a little bit.
We walked over to a friend's house that's about a half mile from our house, and I got there no problem. And then as I was getting ready to leave, the foot did a little, and I had to get driven home.
Did you ever tell the podiatrist about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I told the podiatrist about it, and she was like, okay. If you have symptoms, let us know.
Oh.
My podiatrist, I see every 3 months now, and pretty much if you need to get seen early, call. You're probably going to get a same-day visit.
Oh.
They're pretty good about that. But I'm going to have to look into the Graston technique for plantar fasciitis.
How is it spelled?
Graston.
Graston. Okay.
I've got a Graston. Mr. Gunner, I'm glad that I'm here with you too. It was eye-opening. So listen, did I eat like shit before? I ate like, the average American would eat. Not the good American, not the American diet.
Not anyone that was health conscious.
Right. Or I would say I was health. I have a salad, once in a while. Or I'm not going to have fries with my burger. Give me a salad at the pub and my 4 beers. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
It was like, yeah, that sounds good, right? So, I mean, before this, I had just gotten. I was on a waiting list to get oh my God, the home beer mini keg thing. Well, that was a waste because I wasn't drinking. That was done because not only did I have to watch what I was eating for my heart, I have to watch what I'm eating for my blood sugar, which also affects the heart. All this stuff is intermingled.
Right.
So, you got to. I came home to a cupboard that was largely bare because Rach and my sister went through and purged.
Well, I went through and I just had her take anything that wasn't good out. Like I purged it all and then left it downstairs for her to take away. Wherever she was going to take it to, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Dred, I was worried about me during COVID too. And listen, I'll tell you part of the reason too why I was so reluctant to go to a doctor's office during all that swelling. because we live close enough to Elmhurst Hospital. We're about maybe a mile and a
Yeah,
half.
and Elmhurst Hospital was sort of the
Ground
ground zero
zero.
for COVID cases. Like they had like the refrigerator trucks
Yeah,
outside the hospital, like
for the
by the
bodies.
weekend,
Yeah,
after you went
yeah,
in. And
yeah.
yeah, so like you heard ambulances like just going by
Constantly.
constantly taking people in.
So you would hear it, and as a side note too, one of the things that you often need to heal is sleep. Well, when this was going on, I was not sleeping.
No, you can't sleep because you're like,
It didn't.
you slept in a recliner.
I slept in a recliner, and a good night's sleep. If my watch showed me with something greater than 3 hours of sleep, it was a good night's sleep. There were nights where I had to have 15 minutes,
Mm.
and then and then you're up, and then you're trying to function, and you're trying to keep yourself motivated. So after that second hospitalization, coming back from that, losing all that weight. I mean, the first time they had me walk around the nurses' station and do a circuit,
Oh.
I cried. I cried with the nurses' aide. And I was like, listen, I haven't been able to do this in like 2 months. And until you lose the ability to walk, you don't realize what a cherished thing it is. And I cherish it. It's raining right now. I don't know if you can hear the rain. It is a miserable day today.
Yeah.
But we walk now. It's like, oh, we can get the dog out. It's not wet, and it's above 39 degrees. Get the dog out. We're gonna go for our 40-minute walk, because one of the best things you can do for your heart, for your health overall, is walking. Light to medium cardio. It is perfect. It's low impact, and I think I got myself a little verklempt there for a second. Hold on.
Aww.
Also, I got a cold. It doesn't help. But
sorry.
Yeah, Rach gave it to me. Damn it, she got Concord and she gave it to me. Um. Uh. Tammy, Erik, we've come a long way from that hospitalization.
Yeah.
My second husband lived another year after diagnosis, and we learned how serious it was.
Oh.
He never got back to 40, 49. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I remember when my discharge, I was like 35, 36, and they were happy with it. And when I got discharged, it was that whole no more than 2 quarts of water a day.
Yeah.
They were very, and then that.
And the sodium, and we still
are
careful about the sodium.
So, and then I got put on diabetes medications like Jardiance, and then later on Farxiga. And part of what these medications do is
they help each other out. Yeah.
Well, they make you pee.
Oh.
And they also protect against congestive heart failure. It's a secondary effect of both of these medications.
Because
you don't take both at the same time, but I transfer from one to the other. But
because the diabetes can be a trigger for that.
Right, but they are. Jardiance is going to be prescribed for people with heart failure that don't have blood sugar issues.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing is, I heard that 35%, and it's like, oh, well, I'm close to 40. I'm close to being, but so it's like, you can only. I mean, I love my water. I love my teas. I just, if you give me a chance to eat or drink a meal, I'd probably rather drink it. And I had to drop. I had to stop with my soups and all that stuff. And then
because those soups were very heavy and sodium.
Well, not even sodium, right? I had to stop because it was like
fluid
intake.
You
weren't thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you don't want to count it. And then I spoke with my heart failure specialist. It's like, well, you could probably bring that up to 3 quarts. I don't know what anybody could drink more than 3 quarts of fluids in a day. I'm thinking to myself, wow, I used to, just sitting at the computer and and writing and working on stuff, I would go through three 32-ounce, cooler cups.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't counting what you ate with dinner or something else or soup.
The beers.
The beers. So now I've gotten to the point where I don't count and really pay all that much attention to what I drink because I'm not withholding those fluids. My heart function is in that better range. But you walk. Why do you walk? Well, walking helps you push blood through your system. It helps
So
you.
many things.
It helps
lymph.
you. It helps clear your kidneys because it puts. What you do a good walk, you gotta pee. It pushes that through you. Whether you're doing light calisthenics or stretches, they say that you should be doing a 30-minute a day exercise 4 to 5 days a week, preferably 5.
Yeah, they say walking. The nutritionist from NYU that had reached out to me. She was like, or the dietitian. Sorry, she said, yeah, that's the American Heart Association says to do 5 days a week to walk at least a half an hour, and we do.
Yep. Wow. So Eldred says the Graston technique for plantar fasciitis. I had plantar fasciitis for 3 years,
Uh-huh.
and it was gone in less than 2 months.
Oh, wow.
And yes, sir, I want to be making these videos for a good long time too.
Yes.
I enjoy making these videos. We don't live streams don't get the views. Whether it doesn't matter whether it's me and Mike or me and Rach, we don't get the views, but it certainly gets the feedback. It gets the interaction, and it gets the views of the people that we really, really want and desire to have. 10 Cars Tavern salad. I don't eat food. My food eats. Listen, I love to be able to pick my salad right off our garden. That is some of the best salad. And I mean, here's what, generally speaking, when I make a salad, when I grew up as a kid, it was iceberg lettuce, which had no flavor, and it had some dressing on it. I was like, this is, I didn't like it. So now
it was boring.
I like usually baby greens, unless I'm picking fresh off ours, which case I let it grow a little bit longer just so I have more to pick. But I like the baby greens, the baby salad mix, the baby romaine, baby butter crunch.
I love butter lettuce.
So it's like, oh, well, salad is just lettuce. No, salad is that. It is, I like red onions cut up, placed in there. Fresh peppers, if I can pick a fresh sweet pepper off the garden, I'll put pepper in there. Not just for flavor, for a texture change. All right, that has a little texture change. Depending on what kind of salad I'm making, sometimes I put a bunch of pinto beans on one corner, rinsed, and salsa on the other, on another corner. So you can make it like it's a taco salad.
Yeah, the black bean.
Right. Black beans, sorry. Not the pinto beans. I like pinto beans too.
I don't think I've eaten that.
They're like kidney beans.
Oh.
Yeah. So then those are your vegetables. Maybe if you got cucumber, you throw cucumber in. Tomatoes. Fresh tomatoes. I always cut up the cherry or the grape tomatoes because I don't like them exploding in your face when you're eating them. So I always cut them in half.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh well, that's a decent salad. Now I go for the cheese. I like to put a little shredded cheese on, and I like to put a little chunk cheese. Like if you get those snack bars of cheese, you get like the jalapeno cheddar.
Yeah, that's really good.
I'll slice one up like into 20 different pieces and put it in. Again, it'll change the flavor, change the texture. Almost always, I've got chicken to put into that. Now, sometimes it is chicken strips that I've heated up or chicken fingers. or chicken nuggets. I cut them into bite-sized pieces, and I put it into the salad, and then I use a dressing. My dressing is a homemade Italian. I got one of those like chefs. What was it? Chef
The Magic Chef.
Magic Chef
Then we have
salad
another
thing.
OXO salad
But it comes with a pre-measured
thing.
thing for different salad dressings. So what I do is for the vinegar I use half white vinegar, half balsamic. I find pure balsamic too powerful. Fill the rest to the olive oil line, and then I hit my spice rack, and I go crazy with onion, garlic, little paprika, a little pepper, a little everything, a little Italian, and I make a dressing that's going to have a lot of flavor. And then, if we have it, I sprinkle a little Parmesan on top. So it doesn't feel like it's a salad. It feels like it's a meal. And once it feels like it's a meal, then it's a meal replacement. And everything that's going into that is low carb, very important, high in protein, high in fiber. It's literally a win-win.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm so far behind in the comments. Isn't it awesome to have a good woman in your life? Great job, Rach, for clearing the cupboard.
Thanks.
That's Mr. Gunn. Tammy, hospitals are a hard place to rest and heal.
Yes.
They need to draw blood, take vitals, etc., even in the night. Yep. And Rach was not able to visit me for my first hospitalization at Elmhurst, nor my second hospitalization, which was 3 weeks long, at St. Francis. But she was
so we were on the phone every day, and then like we bring like certain things that he wanted, out there, and
security.
But and you had to leave it with security because it was
COVID.
They didn't know about how contagion worked and all of that, and the first round of COVID wasn't no joke. So
some troll left a love message in a recent video. Tom was late taking care of it. Okay.
Aw.
We're sorry, sir.
Sorry that happened.
Eldrad, my nurse did say people died in the ER at the start of COVID, but after the vaccine, the death rate went up. It's weird because and listen, we both were vaxxed. We both got our first shot, our second shot, and we got the first booster.
Yes.
And we both also got COVID twice.
Yeah.
And after I got COVID the first time, my regular cardiologist said to me, he goes, I'm going to check you for your antibodies for COVID. And afterwards, he goes, you're going to be like immune for life, man. And I still got it again, but it was a cold. He goes, you don't need any more immunizations for COVID. And he was somebody, and still is somebody, who is anti-mask, didn't believe in the masking, but he was pro-vaccine. And my other heart doctor, my heart failure specialist, was pro-vax and pro-mask. There's not a consensus on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Mr. Gunn, iceberg lettuce still has no flavor. Good texture, taste, not so much.
Yeah, I love iceberg like on tacos. When you shred it up.
Oh yeah.
Or on a sandwich. Yeah.
Okay. Salsa. Yeah, salsa in a salad can be very good, but I'll change my dressing a little bit if I'm going more for that flavor.
And the nice thing too is like it's fun because like we have been recreating at home the special burrito bowls that we'd get from
Mucho
a
burrito?
local burrito place.
Mucho burrito.
Yeah, Mucho burrito.
They do 2-for-1 deals on Uber once in a while. When they do, it's like, oh my God, I gotta get it.
We gotta jump on it.
Gotta.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a real troll. Apparently, some people can include you in fiction and have you mutilated, and if you object, that you are speaking bad about. Oh, well, no, that's.
But don't you know how that works?
That's. I know what that's a code word for. That phrase is a code real game companies, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I've never had a Thai salad. I've had Thai
Oh,
food, and I've had. Oh my God! There's that noodle soup, the Thai noodle soup.
the
Oh,
tom yum.
Tom Yum noodle soup. I love it. Oh my God!
Yeah, I like the Thai salads. Sometimes, like at our Thai place, they
Oh,
have
they
it
the little
with
side salads. Like they give you the little appetizer salad.
they have that too, but the one that's the meal, and it'll often it'll like it could be like a papaya salad or like a um they would do like fried tofu in there, and it was good.
Eldred, thank you again. Uh, the way YouTube works, there are certain things that can appear on the screen, but I cannot repeat. So I'll just leave that the fact that you got it up on the screen. But
Thank you.
Dave, oh yeah, Dave the GM, Tabletop Tapper. I saw that. Was he saying that that he had an addict wife, or was he trying to insult you by replying to? Oh, that Dave
Oh, we
had
get
the
to see
addict.
what it is.
Oh, it's sure it's been deleted by now. No, it's been deleted by now because Tom took care of it.
Oh,
But I'm sure there's screenshots, Rach, if you really want. I'm sure I can arrange.
we
for
missed
you.
out on drama.
Oh come on, there's enough
We'll find
drama.
plenty.
Don't worry about the drama. Spinach instead of iceberg. Baby spinach is delicious.
On sandwich, yes.
Oh my God.
And probably in salad too. I think I
Yeah.
used to get it in like um, a Caesar salad.
Blue cheese dressing. I can handle blue cheese dressing. Rage cannot.
Mm-mm.
Back to the Dungeon Deluxe hardcover RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Romaine, iceberg lettuce. Iceberg for me now has to be shredded because
Yeah, it's pretty much. Like,
it's got to be. It's got to. I want it shredded as if it was on a deli slicing machine, and so otherwise, again, when I ate it as a kid, it was somebody just ripped it. My mother ripped it up by hand, and I always and I thought
and it was always too big. She'd be like,
and or you got the stem.
yeah, that always stunk. I hated the stem.
But I always thought to a young adult, I thought that salad was only
mm-hmm.
iceberg lettuce.
Yeah.
And that certainly is not it. Well, yeah, Mr. Gunn, they changed the understanding of. Actually, knowing you and your sense of humor, I think you understand completely. Never mind. I will leave your statement as it is. Mr. Gunn, spinach is my preferred salad leaf. I love spinach. I love broccoli. Peas are. I'm just so used to having canned peas as a kid.
Yeah, peas are not
Yeah.
not a huge draw for me.
Love a spinach salad with goat cheese, pecan, cran raisins, and raspberry vinegar.
That's nice.
And I am fond of Caesar salad. So, supplements that you can look into. Hey, when it comes to your heart function, I was reading an article. Actually, I was reading an article last night that CoQ10. There are studies showing that CoQ10 can increase heart function.
Mm.
So if you have a lower heart function, taking CoQ10 as a supplement can help. Of course, they tried it in like 9 different ways, in liquid form, this one. And just know that CoQ10 is probably the only supplement I've mentioned to my cardiologist where he went,
He was like, yes.
yes. I went,
Because some of them you mentioned, they're like, "What's that?"
yeah, oh, no, he goes, oh, yeah, I never. And usually you hear is, yeah, I never heard of that shit. Okay. Eldrad, I am a safety man. I would not take names, but I recorded on my own personal records every person who had the shots and or the booster got COVID. All of them said, "Damn, I got the jab." Well, we did. We definitely did.
Yeah.
I can definitely say that, and I will say,
And you know what it is. You do the best with what you can at the time.
right.
You know, I was going to be sent back to work at the time, and you know, I at that time, knowing what I knew, I was happy to have it.
Right, because you were going to be dealing with the public. Now,
Yeah.
honestly, if I was not going to be going out and not dealing with the public, I would have been very happy to just play it out. But again, I knew early on, I heard enough of the COVID sirens of,
Yeah.
it was nonstop out here for first 4 or 5 months. It was mind-bogglingly bizarre. Uh, I mean, this is New York City. You expect to hear sirens a couple of times a night. You don't expect to hear sirens 12, 14, 16 times an hour. And that's what we were hearing.
Yeah.
And I could tell from listening to them where they were going. Because I did the job for 20
Right.
years.
You knew which one was the ambulance,
Yep.
and there were usually ambulances going.
Yep. And I could tell the directions.
Yep.
Based upon how the sound was.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm trying to think what else we got. We got so sidetracked, but that's nothing. That's nothing new. Tammy, my favorite sandwich is good bread, hummus on the side,
Yum.
avocado smash on the other, pickles, thin cucumber sprouts, turkey. Yum. Bread with grains and seeds, I can see is the best.
Yeah. Yeah, and bread that doesn't have a shit ton of chemicals in it.
Oh, you know what? Mr. Gunn, my supermarket used to have the butter lettuce. We could get it with the root still on.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Haven't seen it in a year.
Aw.
I just love getting it that way because I knew it would stay fresh.
Yeah.
Well, Eldrad, you can add Rach and I to that. We got jabbed and boosted once, and we both came down with it twice.
Yep.
The government always lies, by the way.
Yes.
Okay. My experience.
Yes.
Former Governor Christy Whitman of New Jersey, EPA director or whatever the title is at the time of 9/11, the air is safe to breathe. Yet when I was in my second hospitalization and they gave me every effing test there was, I have oh god, what there's they called it it's a stained glass effect in my lungs, but it's like you had glass and it's all cracked. So there's scarring in my lungs.
Yeah.
From the air at 9/11, but it was safe to breathe because they didn't have respirators for us. Same thing. Why initially you don't need masks. Fauci don't need a mask.
We don't even have enough for
you don't need a mask. You get a little sniffle, you put it onto your mask. Your mask has a sniffle. You get a sniffle. Your mask keeps the germs, and then it was like, well, you could use 19. If 2 masks are good, 17 masks are better. So I mean, I take what the government says with the grain of salt. That know that the government knows stuff that you don't know and is working angles that you are not going to work,
and that are not going to work for you.
Right. It doesn't mean they're telling you things for their benefit. They are likely telling things that they think or perceive to be a greater benefit for the larger picture. That does not mean you. Just
it's whatever gets them paid.
Tom didn't get COVID until I see. Yeah, Tom, you live up in Maine. It's
Yeah, the
COVID.
COVID is too cold up there. So
Yeah,
I'm not going up
COVID's
there.
like we gotta travel south, man. You guys are pretty much in Canada. Uh, yeah, Dave, I didn't have COVID until I had the vaccine. It was very mild in my case, thankfully.
Yeah.
All I know is that our first time with COVID, my long term COVID was long.
Oh.
We had, especially for me, but my lethargy, I was sleeping 10, 12 hours a day, and I was ass dragging beyond that. That lasted for months.
Yeah, the fatigue.
Fatigue was not fun. Mr. Gunn, Takeover's Tavern, rates. Thank you so much for doing Gamers Health Live. There is nothing else like it. Well, spread the word.
Thank you.
I honestly, I mean, spread the word. We do this because you change one life for the better,
Yeah.
right? If you change, we've been doing this now for about 3 years, longer maybe. And if you change one life for the better, you're a success. And that was what I
Or
wanted to
you
do.
offer somebody some kind of relief or
Yeah, but
camaraderie or
somebody gets an improvement. Somebody feels better
yes.
for it. That's the greatest reward.
Yes.
And we get feedback, and
Really nice feedback.
we talk about stuff that's going on with us.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel's going to talk about her dental experience, but we never even got to that. We'll save that for next week.
Another day.
But honestly, we have an obligation, and the obligation is to you. Anybody that's watching this, whether live or later, we have an obligation to you, and that is to be honest and to talk about what's going on with us so you know that you're not alone in whatever it is you're going through yourself. All right? There are many different paths. We all have to walk our own, but you don't have to walk it by yourself. You don't need to feel like you are by yourself when you're on this path. You're part of a community. You're part of people that care. Oh my! The Mighty Hob is in.
Wow!
Awesome, dude. Wrap any lettuce, parsley, I can't do cilantro. I grew it.
I love a cilantro. You let them read it.
Or other leafy produce in paper towels and put it in a Ziploc bag. It'll last a month.
Huh.
I believe it. I'm assuming in your fridge. I don't know if you could do it outside the fridge, but yeah. New York is a land of chaos. I will not argue that point, Elred.
Yeah.
I will not argue that point at all.
No.
Fresh, Dave the GM, asparagus right out of the ground is quite tasty. You have to get asparagus out of the ground. It's certainly tasty.
I love
if you
asparagus.
You got to be careful buying it fresh because you can get stuff that's very woody, literally woody.
Right, but what it is, you have to break it off just at the right spot.
Right. Sometimes if you can get it frozen, you're going to get good asparagus. They don't tell you that, right?
Well, because they call it asparagus spear.
Yeah.
It's going to be the top of the plant, or I think that's the top.
All right, Mr. Gunn. Good night. No more mom. I mean, dad jokes. Let's say mom jokes. Tom, asparagus grilled with oil and a sprinkle of parm, and I can eat that at least once per week.
Parmesan? I never thought of that.
Butter.
Yeah, butter and lemon.
Yeah.
Yes. Garlic.
Yes, Jason. It's been a while. Good to see you. Hopefully, we'll see you at North Texas. Well, we're not gonna be at GaryCon or Founders, but we will be at North Texas, Shire, probably WizardCon in July, and then
definitely WizardCon in July.
Page
in January.
So, yep, I was right in the fridge. Okay. Tammy, I just learned if you put avocados whole in a bowl of water in the refrigerator, they last a long time.
Oh, a hole with the skins on.
Yeah, okay. Because what we usually do is we buy avocados and then we forget about them,
Yeah.
and then like 4 weeks later, I have this like I don't know a very small tennis ball, or brown ping pong ball that is just a little bit more than the size of the nut.
Yeah, so we've just been buying like squeezable.
Yeah, squeezable guacamole, which
Yeah.
by the way, I find is the way to go. Or actually, we also have those individual ones. We got to
Yes,
Lotto. I gotta have some.
yeah.
Maybe I'll have some tonight. Folks, we are well past our usual Saturday night witching hour. You all are keeping us going. I'm sorry. Eldrin, I'm a safety man with training in PPE. A mask does not
Okay.
stop a viral hazard.
Right.
Yeah. It's it's theater, and believe it or not, I'm in my oh my god, I'm 56, and my best friend that introduced me to RPGs is in a residency right now. So you're never too old to start a new career. So God bless Ken.
Yeah.
But yeah, for him it was N95 or nothing.
Yeah.
And a well fitted N95.
Well, yes, because if and they're not easy to breathe in.
No.
Like the well-fitted ones, because you get the right. If you get the right size and you gain or lose 10 pounds, then it's for shit because you know it can't form the seal properly.
All right, folks. Well, listen, I'm gonna wrap this up. As always, it's been awesome. If you want MCC or GCC RPG material, the links are on the screen. Like I said, it's an affiliate link. It's how you can support this show. We don't run. YouTube runs the ads, but we don't do sponsorships. We don't do paid advertising. So we can talk about real stuff and real events, and not have to worry about did I show the carrier taco knives well enough? Does anybody want to be a Scottish laird? No, not for us. All right. There'll be another regular video up tomorrow. There was a video up earlier today. Nothing to do with gamers' health, or a little bit to do with the fact that Watsi promised us a year ago that they would put the older edition SRDs into the Creative Commons. They were working on it. They were working on it. It's a year later. I don't know if they're working on it. I doubt it. All right. God bless. Again, Hobbs, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
You're always welcome, and you are missed when we don't see you. Latest.
Thanks, guys.